After scouring the internet trying to find a set of plans for a saw blade holder, I finally stumbled across an old article from Wood Magazine that I decided I would make. I wanted to make two of these, one for my dado stack and the other for my regular set of saw blades. And being that this project was being built from scraps, the first thing I needed to do was square up these rough pieces of plywood using my panel cutting sled. I then cut all my side and back pieces at the same time for both of the saw blade holders. I didn't have any carpet tape on hand to stick the side pieces together with, so I just used some masking tape I had. I then drew a line 1 7/8 from the back on both pieces, and starting 3 inches from the top, I made a mark every 2 inches for the 10 slots for the saw blade holders. I used my drill press and a 1/4 inch drill bit to drill all the holes in both sides. The slots are cut at a 60-degree angle, so I use my 30-60-90 triangle to draw a line on both sides of the holes to cut the slots out with. The bandsaw made quick work of cutting out all the slots and was really fairly easy to do and did a pretty nice job. I also marked and cut a small radius on the top of both sides for a little bit nicer look. I sanded the sides of both pieces, being sure to smooth out the top radius cut and sanding all the points off the slots. And I did a little bit of sanding in each one of the slots themselves, not getting too carried away, being that they were going to be holding saw blades anyways. I have both a thin and a full kerf riving knife for my table saw, and I wanted a place to store either one of them when they weren't in use, so I traced out the handle on a small scrap piece of 2x4 and cut that shape out on the bandsaw. I then took it to the spindle sander and sanded all the cuts smooth, and then I was able to take it back to the bandsaw and cut a thin slice off the front and a little bit of thickness off of the remaining piece and glue them back together with a little bit of glue and some squeeze clamps. After that, all it took was a little bit more sanding on the spindle sander to smooth it out until both of them fit on there. I marked a spot 1 inch from the top and bottom and 9 inches from each end and drilled and countersunk 4 2-inch drywall screws into each side along with a little bit of glue. and I used a damp towel to wipe up the glue squeeze out before it was able to dry. I drilled a 1/2-inch hole in the bottom of the dado stack holder and cut a short piece of 1/2-inch dowel with the bandsaw to hold the shims for the dado set. I also cut a small notch in the dowel to prevent the shims from sliding off, and I just glued it into place. I marked the position of the riving knife holder and pre-drilled 2 holes through the front to mark the location, and then countersunk 2 small screws into the back to hold it on. The final step was just to add a French cleat onto the back of both of the holders and then install the table saw blades. So it looks like I need to add to my collection of 10-inch blades, but I think that's going to be a much better way of storing my saw blades in the future, especially the dado blades. It sucked having to dig them out of the plastic case every time you wanted to use one of them, because most of the time the blade you would need, or the chipper you would need, would be on the very bottom, and you'd have to dig every one of them out just to get to them. And now with this setup, I can easily grab it out. If you haven't already subscribed, we'd love for you to do so. We try to put out a new project video every weekend. You can follow us on all the social media sites. You can also check out our website at lanebrotherswoodshop.com, where we have more details and plans from this week's project and all the projects from previous weeks. That's all I got for you this week, guys. Happy trails. Thanks for watching.